example, this, I saw it 2 years ago. That's the river otter. Incredible creature. In very much in the danger of extinct. We still have those in Israel. This is the salamandra. I know you don't like salamandras in America, but we do. It's the local salamandra, which is, you can find it only here in Mount Carmel. This is the porcupine. You also have jackals, wild boars. The reason you don't see those animals, it's because they're active on at nighttime. The big mammals and the reptiles in Israel, most of them are nocturnal animals. And many of them adjusted to live at night conditions because we live in a daytime conditions. You see, they want to avoid us. So they basically walk in the same trail that we do, but they do it in the nighttime. And the one that you do see, like the ibex or the gazelles, that's the ones that are active on the daytime. What else I want to point out? This very important inscription over here, that was found at the Israelite gate. It's just mind-blowing biblical inscription. It used to be the oldest Hebrew alphabetic inscription ever to be discovered. And what's so important about it, it's mentioned the House of David. So we call it the House of David inscription. Basically, it says over here in ancient Hebrew, it was a part of a monument built by the Aramean king Hazael II. And when the king wants to glorify his victory, he couldn't just tweet about it. You write it on a monumental stone. You ask your writers to duplicate it. You send it to all the cities of your kingdom. You make the people stand it or make it stand at the city gate when everybody enters the city, and they can read about your glory. Okay? So Hazael II described his victory over both. He says, I killed Jehoram, the king of Israel, Joram, the king of Israel, and I killed the Jehoram, the king of Judah, from the house of David. Okay, you don't sound very much impressed by that. And I desolated their cities. You should now be jumping up to the air, because when this was discovered, all the the scholars used to say that King David was never exist.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay? Before that was found, the common understanding of the scholars that King David is just fiction. That's the spring, ladies and gentlemen. The water comes from right there. Look at this amount, one spring, or it's several springs.
Wow.
The largest one in the whole Middle East.
This way, guys.
I can do the other way, but it's going to be muddy. Yes, you will see them. Oh, you go on the other side, you can see. I prefer to use the people to see. tree, so they won't fall. They pick them out by a crane. And the moment the eucalyptus trees are being removed, you can see a remarkable recovery of the natural vegetation, because eucalyptus trees, just like pine trees, have acidity in their leaves. So they actually kill everything around them. And the natural animals cannot enjoy the eucalyptus trees. Yes, only one animal in the world can eat the eucalyptus leaves. The koalas. So the British forgot to bring the koalas. So thank God, otherwise we have a koala problem.
So these are imported? The eucalyptus are
The
imported?
eucalyptus, all of them from Australia. They brought here by the British and they spread it. It's invading species. So we remove them, okay? And the moment you remove them, you can see the local vegetation revive itself. Incredible recovery.
This is almost like a jungle.
It's cool.
Oh, you can see the sign that's before and after. See, 15 years ago.
Well, they grew fast. When did they bring them in the 1800s or?
The British brought them, so it has to be after the First World War.
After the First World War.
Some of them, I guess, maybe were brought before, but.
You have
Oh my God! What is my favorite tree?
Oh my God.
Oh, I guess they had a good reason. Oh my gosh! That's one of my favorite trees in Israel. This is one tree. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it started as one tree. It's one of my favorite trees in Israel. Maybe you can guess. It's a mulberry tree. And the reason why I mention it is just because we talk about the silk route. You remember the cross Asia route? What's the connection between silk and the mulberry tree? The caterpillars that makes the cocoons. That from the cocoon you make the silk. The only food they can eat is the leaves of the mulberry tree. So my kids are now looking for mulberry trees so they can get leaves to feed their silkworms. Okay, the kids grow them at home to learn about the full circle of the butterfly and all of that. So that's the only and I don't know what's going on with this tree. This is a beautiful tree, but the other ones are still alive. I hope this one. I think this one will recover as well. I guess they had a good reason why. All the other tools are for animals only. That's the only one for kids. Sorry? Yes, you do. Yes. First of all, what's super cool about the nature over here, that many of the plants you see around you are edible. You have the wild olive trees. Yes, the wild olive trees and many of the herbs you can eat. We use it for our salads. Biblical days, in this time of the year, that's what you do. You go and pick up herbs from the field, and that's the base of your nutrition, okay? I'm not gonna eat it right now because I need my mouth. But other things I want to tell you, this is the reed, like the reed sea. They used to cut it and write with it on a soft clay, okay? So the reed, and making mattresses from it and rugs and other things, right over here. What else we want to show you?
The mustard.
Okay, we got the mustard that we already talked about, and okay, we're going to show you more things very soon.